Welcome back to Askewed Reviews. And today I'm reviewing a film that's currently in theaters. Also, just recently, within the past week or two, it actually premiered at Fantastic Fest. The movie that I'm referring to is the 2025 film Coyotes, directed by Colin Minahan. Going into this film, I really had some high hopes for it. Two reasons. Number one, I love Justin Long and I love seeing him in horror movies. And two, because it's an animal attack horror, and that's one of my favorite genres. Let me tell you about the concept for this film. The entire movie takes place in the Hollywood Hills, and we meet our interesting group of characters. This consists of a family with a husband and wife of Scott and Liv and their daughter Chloe and their little dog, which I don't remember the name of. Then we also have their annoying neighbor Trip, who at the moment is having a lady of the evening named Julie hanging out with him. Finally, we have Scott and Liv's friends, Tony and Sheila, and an exterminator named Devin. During the beginning of the film, we get to meet each of these characters in a cinematic fashion that is very akin to comic books, as one of the main characters, Scott, is a comic book artist. One night, a massive storm rolls through this area of California, and specifically for those in the Hollywood Hills, knocking out most of their power. Now, the next day, while everyone is trying to recover from the storm, they end up running into another issue, as throughout the Hollywood Hills, there are tons of coyotes. And these ones are not just meek creatures, they are hungry, they are bloodthirsty, and they are willing to attack at a moment's notice. So now everyone in the neighborhood is trying to figure out either how to get help or get out. And will they manage to figure out a way before these feral and apparently very intelligent coyotes manage to pick off each and every one of them? So, as I mentioned, going into this, I really wanted to enjoy this film, but unfortunately, it did not meet the hype that I created for it in my own mind. Now, I would definitely not call this one a terrible movie because there are some aspects of it that I did enjoy. For instance, the performances in the movie, especially from Justin Long and Kate Bosworth, were really good. Second, I like the concept because if anyone really knows about coyotes, this is probably the most invasive species in the United States. And the idea of them just deciding to go feral one day and everything, that makes for a great concept. I don't really like their idea of why they're doing what they're doing. I felt it was very almost boring and too cliche, but that's just my own opinion. As for the looks of the coyotes, I thought they were good. Now, mind you, you can definitely tell at times that they were completely computer generated, but it still didn't look bad. As for some of the things that I didn't like about this movie, first of all, definitely would have to be the characters. Not that all of them were bad necessarily, but it's just, it was really hard to care about what was happening to them because most of them are kind of just bad people. I think the mom is really the only one that I actually would have wanted to live throughout the whole thing. Everyone else I kind of didn't care about. But I also don't know if that's supposed to be part of the story here because obviously this is a cast of characters in the Hollywood Hills, which, let's be honest, a lot of those characters are probably rich, snobby, just kind of not really likable people. But, I don't know specifically if that was the idea. Something that also just ended up really annoying me is there are moments where it feels like some stuff was just cut out of the film. I don't know if it would have made it any better, but there is one sequence where it literally goes from afternoon to full on nighttime within like a 5-minute span, and it makes no sense. Another big issue I had is when it comes to horror movies, I don't mind bad decisions. I'm not a fan of dumb ones. And throughout the film, there are definitely some really dumb decisions that are made that I just feel like even a normal person really would not decide to do that. And finally, I just wasn't a big fan of the ending. Or maybe not even just the ending, just the lead up to why the coyotes are doing what they're doing and no one really becoming the hero type character by the end. I don't know. There were just a couple of issues I had with that. So for me on my scale, I'm going to give Coyotes a 2 out of 5. I'm not saying don't go check it out because I do think it is still worth a watch because maybe you'll enjoy it a little bit more than I did. But would I say it's one of my favorite horror movies of the year? Definitely not. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Askewed Reviews. And if you've already seen the movie Coyotes, let me know what you thought about it in the comments.